Hey associates, Haley, Professor HB.
Say my name, say my name.
And this mini video lecture is really going to introduce you to me, my background, and then we are going to talk about just some of my teaching philosophy that inform the class expectations, projects, and vibe for our time together. So, rapid fire, a few of the things that I actually enjoy. The idea of organizing chaos.
Chaos is a ladder.
I like organizing chaos, which to me just means taking every reading, every textbook, every potential video, topic, concept, and really I see it as my job, and what I enjoy about my job is trying to give you something manageable, help you keep track and stay on track of those resources. But I also love minimizing, and whenever I'm in a bad mood, all I need to do is go through a room, a closet, a drawer, minimize, organize, and honestly, I feel so much better. Other things, I love creative delights. So while I do like having some structure, organizing, all of that chaos, I also love being surprised.
Ah! Ow! I almost had a heart attack.
That's scared. That's not surprised.
Whether it's being surprised by an idea that I come up with when creating a document or writing something, or especially being surprised by the creativity that all of you bring to me whenever I get a project that just is not what I expected, but in all of the best ways. That's what I consider a creative delight. And if you can sneak something in there that absolutely makes me laugh while still maintaining, right, the structure, demonstrating the skills, showing some of that professional creative effort, absolutely love, and probably will be a little bit of bonus points or extra credit in it for you. So surprise me, bring me your creative delights with all of the projects that we create. Now, I am an introvert, which surprises a lot of people because I do enjoy being up here public speaking. I am quite good at it, I'd say, but at the end of the day, I love the most just chilling, kind of by myself or just with my partner, and not really being around a lot of people. And so I definitely need that time to recharge so that way I can bring the energy, the excitement, stand up here and perform and present for all of you every single workshop, class period, and video. A few other things about me, I really enjoy productive days. So there is nothing kind of better to me than that satisfaction of going to bed being like, I checked off everything in my to-do list. The way that I track and set myself up and support my productive days is definitely through every morning sitting down, coming up with usually the 9 things that I think, that I realize, that I prioritize to do that day. And then I love coloring them in at the end of the day so that way I know how much I got done, what I need to do tomorrow, and how many really productive days that I have. And as much as I love productive days, they're only possible because of what I call my lost days. And I love my lost days so much. Usually it's going to be, a Saturday or a Sunday. Definitely during winter break, summer break, lots of these happening where I literally sit at my computer for 8+ hours playing video games, or watching a movie, or really just chilling out, walking about 500 steps in the course of the whole day, and that's what it is. Well, I do call them a lost day. It's not in a negative way at all. It's something important that I do find critical to enable all the other things that I enjoy, but I do call them lost days because, well, they sort of just go by and all of a sudden it's 7 o'clock at night and I've been playing literally all day and realize I haven't done anything else in that entire time period. Need them, love them. I hope that you can give yourself some lost days, but of course we can only have these truly lost days if we balance it out with a lot of very productive days where we stay organized, on top of things, and everything is where it needs to be. Quick round of this or that. First, movies versus books. I like to think of myself as a reader. I do have a very big bookshelf full of all sorts of things, and I'm always buying new things. I am reading, but when it comes down to it, I will always pretty much choose to watch, whether it's a movie, a TV show, YouTube, over reading when I have downtime, and I definitely do tend to like movie adaptations more than the original book. Sorry, not sorry. DC versus Marvel. This is a little bit of a trick question because I definitely am here for the MCU, so cinematic universe obviously has to be Marvel, but DC definitely has way better animated shows as well as comic. Beach versus mountains, or like a warm vacation versus a cold one. Definitely going for the warm vacation every time. Need the beach life, absolutely. Though I don't like getting in the water, going to hang out on the sand. But I do not want to live at the beach. Absolutely love living in the mountains, need to have these different seasons, don't want to be constantly warm all the time. Love having our very kind of distinct warm and cold months, but definitely got a vacation to the beach. And with that, I do love the seasons, but I am absolutely a fall girl over a spring. You know, they're both good. I like spring because it heads into summer. That's kind of cool, but fall is just such a nice time, especially here in Colorado. So definitely fall girl. Also, I tend to like the fall semester a little bit more than the spring semester. I'm not sure why. Just kind of an interesting vibe. Maybe it's because we're coming off of the summer. Big fan of that. But let's get down to more of that professional business. I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey through me and how I ended up in front of you. So starting with the way back in high school, I was active in 4-H. So all of my horse girls, I see you, I hear you, let's chat about it. But I did participate in 4-H. I was the county council president. And so my time, both public speaking, leading, organizing chaos, as well as just a real love to learn and experience and try and often fail at a lot of things, did start early for me. After high school, I started at Colorado Mesa University, was there on a scholarship, but quickly decided it just really wasn't my vibe. So after my first year, I did actually transfer to Colorado State University, really chasing that big school experience, especially coming from such a small town. I just needed something a little bit bigger, and so happy to end up there. While at Colorado State, I actually changed my major 5-ish plus times. I definitely wasn't sure what it was that I really wanted to do, liked to do, was good at doing, and was just super indecisive. I went back and forth from starting out as history and then anthropology because I thought I wanted to work in a museum. Definitely think there is a variant of me out there. Absolutely is crushing it as a museum curator for sure, but then after that I kind of bounced around from things like nutrition before really coming back into this idea of communication, and then changed some minors here and there, but did finally settle for my undergrad on communication and media studies with that minor in information technology. Which was really cool, very interdisciplinary, so I got to dabble in a lot of things from journalism to some computer science and business classes to create some cool stuff. Decided I wasn't done with college because I didn't know what I wanted to do after that. If you're not sure what you want to do, that's okay, you'll figure it out. But I did pursue and ended up in the Master's of Science program at Colorado State. So I stayed there. Fort Collins is the jam, and got that master's degree in public communication and technology, essentially media studies, from the Department of Journalism and Technical Communication. While working through grad schools, when I really got a lot of my experience in technical writing, I was a technical writer and editor for the Florida Park Service, National Forest Service, which was really cool, getting just to help all of the researchers, edit, organize, again, organizing a little bit of chaos, and just working on those reports for publication. So I got a lot of hard kind of technical editing experience in there. And then I also had internships and positions in public relations, social media, content marketing, a lot more of that side of kind of the media strategic communication focus. I still wasn't done with school, decided, you know what, college is my jam. Y'all, I love college.
I want to go to college for the rest of my life.
What can I say? And so I did do the PhD program, still at CSU. At the time, I had just gotten married as well, and so my partner was finishing a degree and then got a job in northern Colorado, and so I stayed at CSU. They allowed me to roll some of my credits, kind of accelerate the PhD process, and there I studied in terms of research in my dissertation, podcast culture, and how that form of media is allowing us to share and connect and explain a lot of content, technical content, pop culture content, film content, to audiences. And that led me to UNC, University of Northern Colorado, as my first, sort of career jobs, working as an advisor, kind of worked my way up a bit of that ladder there, until I was kind of basically in charge of professional development as well as academic probation policies, which really that job was all about making sure people understood the policies, that I created a lot of products, videos, websites, help sheets, that kind of stuff to explain it to other people. So technical writing, kind of strategic communication in there, and then creating training and professional development materials. And that leads to today, UCCS, University of Colorado Springs, as your instructor of technical communication info design. But again, stop by my office, ask me about any of these experiences, and I'm so happy to share and talk with you more. What did I learn? What did I get out of it? How did I get that type of position? Anything that you want to know, just ask. All right, so let's talk about class for just a few minutes towards the end of this mini lecture. My philosophy really is grounded in this idea of productive struggle, as well as a pedagogy of kindness. And so what that means is when I give you, the concepts, the resources, you will have the tools you need, but when I let you kind of give it a shot, have a little bit of a hard time creating, figuring it out, helping you when I can, guiding you to find the answer, you're more likely to hold on to it, use it, actually learn it, versus me just kind of giving you the answer, giving you something to copy down. So what that really means for me is kind of 4 principles and how they show up in the classroom. So the first is challenge. You're going to have a better experience in the long run in terms of what you actually learn, engage with, if you feel a little bit of a challenge, right? Again, think of video games you've played that are way too easy, or you pick the difficulty level that's too easy, turns out to not be very fun, not be very satisfying. But of course, if you pick a difficulty level that's too much, too hard for you, for me, I'm getting into my era of gamer girl, so that happens a lot. I definitely need to drop down to easy, normal mode. Absolutely, I get annihilated and don't have any fun often if I do anything, above that normal setting. That's not fun either. So in this class, for the projects, they are going to be a little bit challenging in terms of what I'm asking you to create, but then you also are going to get control, whether it's controlling the topic, so that way you get to write about, create something that you actually have interest in. Love that for you, but you also will control how much support you need, right? You will have basically not exact step-by-step, but essentially tutorials for the different projects. Think of that as story mode or easy mode for my gamers, and that's really not tons of challenge or resistance, because it's going to kind of tell you every single section, do this, here's extra resources and support, all the way up to what I kind of consider the hard mode, or really what we call the more creative and kind of more freedom mode, where here's the outline, here's the requirements you have to meet, but you get to go off and figure out how to produce those. And then there's kind of one in between. So you get to control that. Maybe for one section, you go to that easier mode with the tutorial, and then you take it from there, which is the templates or the outlines. Either way, you control how much challenge you're really experiencing. The 4th thing is curiosity. You're the only one that can really decide what you get out of any class. And absolutely, the more kind of curious, open, the more kind of extra content that you consume, the better. And so every week you have your required materials that, yes, you have to watch and read those. There's points associated. They'll show up, in the project's exams. But there's also just bonus content where you can kind of go down the rabbit hole a little bit, get some extra content. And of course, you have to take a little bit of ownership, get that curiosity, go explore when you need more. And last, career outlook. So what does that all kind of mean? What does productive struggle comes down to? Really, I want you to become the world's best trier. Just give everything in this class a shot. You'll be able to revise. You'll get more support. I will guide you if you go a little bit astray, but just try. I'm about to show you some data from the Colorado Employment Pipeline. It's a report that they publish every year. We're finding that core skills are becoming more and more valuable than necessarily relative technical skills. And what that actually means for us is things like communication. Can you talk? Can you write? Super important, becoming even more important than what specific program or software or tool that you have, right? Are you a team player, right? Can you cooperate with other people? We'll talk and practice that through a lot of class discussions, activities, partner work, team projects, that kind of stuff. Are you organized? I'm going to give you, again, tips. Try to give you structure to stay organized on these projects, but ultimately that is one of those things you're practicing, and not just in my class, but across all your classes, college in general. Great place to get some of that organization, self-motivation. Are you able to engage? Find that sense of curiosity, pick your level of challenge, and actually produce stuff. Another kind of really interesting one that is newer showing up is this adaptability or tolerance of change. We are going to move really quickly through these projects, right? Semesters go fast. We do have a lot of things that we need to cover. And so you are practicing ultimately being able to change really rapidly, really quickly. And in college, in general, you're practicing that skill because every week is a different topic. Every semester is a completely different schedule. Every year, right, you're moving from 2000 level to advanced courses. Things change all the time. You operate with a lot of uncertainty because you don't even know what your schedule is going to be for next semester, most likely. And so all of those core skills are things that you're practicing in school and things that you'll be practicing in this class. And then the technical skills, you see office products are on there heavily. That's what we are going to focus on, mostly using different office products with a few other kind of tools for communication in there. So I obviously encourage you to use the office products while you are a student and have access to them so that way you know how to use them beyond that more basic level. And we're going to kind of dive into some of the more advanced skills. All right, and kind of wrapping up, final thoughts for your first mini lecture. And it's just a quick kind of introduction to me, my philosophy, some of the things and reasons why the class is set up the way it is. We will go over the specific Canvas shell much more in depthly in workshop itself and any additional videos, tutorials as necessary. So always watch those, explore the Canvas shell so you get the details of the specific class, the schedule, all of that kind of goes into it. But just know my goal is to believe in you, and just give you the opportunity to learn, to grow, and to interact as much or as little to an extent as you want. And so you'll see that the grading is really set up to reward, right, my values of being a productive person, of having a lot of agency, so your control over the choices, and having kind of that curious spirit, whether it's through extra credit opportunities, the projects that you're going to do lots of revisions and iterations on, and some of the engagement and participation. Thank you so much for being in my class. I'm excited to go on, the semester, the journey with you. Use all the resources, use all the things that are available in your Canvas shell as well as on this campus. Ultimately, you are in control of the amount of challenge you experience. I am here to support you, and I look forward to a good semester. Thanks, associates. Vibes.